let's dive right in. The title for this one is A Real Gut Punch. You only get about 30,000 days. Here's how not to waste them. It's a thought that can honestly change everything, so let's break it down.
You know, life feels long. It really does, until you do the math and realize you only get about 30,000 days.
And yeah, here's the part that really hits home. You've already used a whole bunch of them.
Most of us, we live like we've got all the time in the world, right? We put things off, we delay, we always say someday. But here's the thing, that someday is just a lie your brain tells you so you don't have to change anything today.
It's kind of crazy when you think about it. The average human life is just shockingly short. And how you perceive time, well, that's what determines how you live it. So let's be super clear. This isn't about productivity hacks or managing time. This is about not wasting your life. So let's start with something I bet you've definitely felt. Remember when you were a kid and summer felt like it lasted forever? But now, whole years just, whoosh, they fly by. Well, that's not just you getting older, it's actual neuroscience. So here's how it works. Your brain basically measures time by how many new things it has to process. When you have new experiences, novelty, it feels like time slows way down. But when everything is just routine, time just collapses on itself. I mean, think about your own life, right? The same morning routine, the same commute to work, staring at the same screens day in and day out. Where your life is that predictable, your brain kind of goes on autopilot. It stops recording all the little details. So life feels shorter because from your brain's perspective, it actually is. So what's the fix? It's not about cramming more stuff into your day. It's about intentional novelty, learning new skills, having different kinds of conversations, taking new paths home. Even little changes work. Every new experience forces your brain to wake up and pay attention. And just like that, time starts to expand again. And that brings us to a really important point, because so many of us get caught in this trap of confusing being busy with actually making progress. You know, we fill our days with all these tasks that feel super urgent, but when you step back, they don't really matter. So here's a little mental trick you can use. Just for a second, imagine you're 90 years old and you're looking back on your life, looking back on today. What stuff that you're stressing about right now actually survives that perspective? And what just vanishes? See, getting clarity isn't about adding more to your plate. It's about figuring out what to take off. Your real power move, the real game changer, is subtraction. It's about being ruthless and just cutting out the things that steal your time without giving you any real meaning in return. And when we talk about meaning, that leads us to something absolutely essential. Because here's the thing. Life just doesn't feel so short when you feel genuinely connected to other people. Think of your relationships like a bank account. Every little interaction you have is either a deposit or a withdrawal. And it's not the big, grand gestures that matter most. It's the small, consistent things. Just being present. And here's a wild paradox for you. Going through hard times together actually builds deeper bonds than just sharing good times. And when you help other people, I mean really help them, it has this strange effect on time. It starts to feel fuller, richer, even slower. It's like giving your time away doesn't shrink it, it actually multiplies it. All right, let's switch gears and talk about something that takes up a huge chunk of our 30,000 days, our careers. And here's a surprising truth. Most people don't get stuck because they fail at something. They get stuck because they get, well, comfortable. The very best opportunities are always waiting for you just outside your comfort zone. So, especially early in life, don't focus on making the most money. Focus on learning the most, because skills compound over time, but job titles, they really don't. And you have to remember that modern careers aren't a straight ladder anymore. They're more like a jungle gym. You might move sideways or diagonally or even take a step back if it means you're expanding your skills and your range. Yeah, comfort feels so safe, right? It feels good in the moment. But what it's really doing, quietly, is shrinking your future. So if you're going to move outside that comfort zone, you need the right fuel to do it. And this is so important. You don't actually need more hours in the day. What you need is more energy. Think about it. A totally exhausted mind will just waste time, even if your schedule is wide open. That's why things like sleep, they're not optional. Getting some movement in, not optional. And taking time to recover, that is not laziness. I love this way of thinking about it. You are basically two different people.
There's the person who makes all the ambitious plans, and then there's the poor person who actually has to live them out. So you've got to design your life so that the you at the end of the day doesn't totally hate the you who set the alarm that morning. All right, for our last big idea here, let's talk about what might be one of the most valuable skills in life. And it's one that nobody ever really teaches us, and that's knowing when to quit. Now, I'm not talking about giving up. I'm talking about strategic quitting. It is not failure. It's about making space. See, quitting the wrong path is the only way you can free up time and energy for the right one. So many people stay stuck simply because they're too afraid to let go of something that just doesn't fit anymore.
Okay, so let's wrap this all up. Life isn't short because of a lack of time. It's short because of a lack of awareness. And it all compounds, right? Your habits, they become your days. Your days then become your years. And before you know it, your years have become your life. But you don't have to change everything all at once. You just need to change one thing consciously. And not someday. You've got to do it today.
And I want to leave you with this final, kind of chilling thought. The scariest part about all of this isn't just that life is short. It's that most people only realize it when it's way too late.